Welcome, grade 4s, to WorksheetCloud.com's online lessons. I hope you missed me this long weekend and that you were rested and you were safe and that you had a really good one. Today we are getting back to our English home language lessons today, and I hope that you are excited. You do need a pencil or a pen and a page to write with because we are going to be doing some practical activities in this lesson. But I just wanted to give you a really warm welcome, grade 4s, because I know it's been a few days since you've seen me last. So let's get into it. If you have any questions about this lesson or any of my other lessons, grade 4s, please send an email to grade4@worksheetcloud.com. So today's lesson is going to be on direct and indirect speech. What's interesting about this topic is because it's all about talking. And if anybody knows me very well, they know that I love talking. Sometimes too much. And I know some of you are sitting out there going, I'm the same, miss. I'm the same. So today we're going to be doing quite a bit of talking with our direct and indirect speech. So our lesson outline for today is we're going to play a sentence game. So today we're not going to be doing sentence a day. We're going to play a little bit of a game. We're going to look at what is direct and indirect speech, the characteristics of direct speech, punctuating direct speech, and then we're going to be trying to look at direct speech in practice. So that is our outline for today. So now I'm going to get out of your way. A picture of a sentence. What does that mean, grade 4? Let's take a look. Okay, there's a newspaper article. Okay, so there are a few pictures over there. Grade 4s, these pictures represent a sentence. It's a picture of a sentence. I would like you to try and figure out what this sentence could possibly be. I'm going to give you a few seconds to try and figure it out. And remember, we are trying to get our brains working and to think clearly. So I want you to really look at these pictures and think of what word each of them could represent. Good luck, grade 4s. I'm going to give you a few seconds now. So let me give you some clues, grade 4s. Well, the first picture is a picture of a newspaper article. Think about it. What do we start our sentences with sometimes? An article. So that's my first clue. Now, you should then know that the sentence would start with, drum roll, the. Okay, so the is an article. Our next picture is a picture of a girl. Good, okay? So, the girl. In this picture, there is someone swimming, or swims, or swam. So now we can see the action word is a little bit more difficult to figure out. There's an arrow, a little bit difficult to figure out. What could that arrow mean? Down, in, okay? And then we have another article. And over here we have a beautiful lake or river. Okay, so beautiful. So far we have the girl, river. Okay, so the article could be a or the. There's only two types of articles. And since it's a river, it will be the or a. So the sentence reads, the girl swims a river. or the river. So what could the arrow mean, grade 4s? In. Okay, so our sentence reads, the girl swims in a river or swam in a or the river. Let's see if we're right. The girl swam in the river. Very good, grade 4. I think what's important that we have to put in when we play these games is the tense of the sentence. But the girl swam in the river. And that is, hopefully we're going to play a game like this tomorrow as well, so that you can see that we can actually use pictures to represent a sentence. So, what is direct speech? Direct speech uses the exact words of the speaker. It is indicated by inverted commas, and this is what inverted commas look like, grade 4s. So, direct speech uses the exact words of the speaker. So, what I'm saying and what is coming out of my mouth now, that is direct speech. If you were to tell it to your mommy now, you'd say, teacher said this is direct speech. And then it is indicated by inverted commas. A new paragraph is used for each new speaker. So this is what direct speech entails. You can see it by it having those inverted commas over there, and by the fact that it's the exact spoken words of the speaker. What is indirect speech? Indirect speech retells what someone else has said. So it's not what the person is exactly speaking, it's saying what someone else has said in your own words. So I would say, my mommy said that we shouldn't do that. But if I was saying it in direct speech, I would say, my mommy said, you mustn't do that. Okay, so that is the difference between direct and indirect speech. And I think it will become more clear when we get into conversing between the two, and it will become more clear when we start showing you examples. So don't stress yet, grade 4. It is not indicated by inverted commas. So therefore, indirect speech does not have inverted commas. And it can also be referred to as reported speech. So when you hear the words reported speech, you must know, grade 4s, that it's also indirect speech. They mean the same thing. So some teachers will say, we are going to learn about indirect speech today. And some teachers will say, we're going to learn about reported speech. They mean the same things, grade 4s. So, characteristics of direct speech. Direct speech consists of two parts. A clause containing an introductory verb such as said or asked, and that is important, grade 4s, because it's introducing what the person's about to say. And usually it will start with said or asked, okay? Sometimes it will be exclaimed or shouted, but it will always be introduced by a verb. This shows the speaker. The verb is followed by a comma. So after the word asked or said, there would be a comma afterward, and it's now going to indicate that the person's about to speak. And the second part is the actual words that were spoken. They are enclosed with inverted commas, like we spoke about in the previous slide. So this is how direct speech, and this is what direct speech consists of. The two parts, okay? The part that says Nina said, and then the other part that is the words that were spoken. For example, Minka said, I love my mom. So I'm going to take my pen out now, grade 4, so that I can show you, indicate you exactly what the two parts are. So the one part is Minka said, okay, and this is the verb in the sentence, and it's indicating that someone's about to say something. And after the word said, I put in a comma, okay? you need to put in a comma, and I start my conversation or the phrase that I'm about to say or the person was about to say. And that is indicated by my inverted commas, my open inverted comma, which is indicated right over here. Then Minka said, comma, I love my mom. Once she is done speaking, you have to have a closed inverted commas. So then I close it, full stop, and then I close it. So this is the first part over here, the first part of my direct speech, characteristics of my direct speech, and this is the second part. Apologies for my terrible handwriting, grade 4. So that is how we can write in our direct speech. Okay, I hope you all got that, grade 4s. So, punctuation marks and direct speech. This is important when you are busy with direct speech, grade 4s, because it indicates how you can identify it. And also, you must be able to, when you are asked to do it in an assessment, you must be able to write in direct speech. So, here's a girl. I love going to school. And this girl's name is Leah. This is exactly what Leah is saying. I love going to school. So we are going to punctuate what she is saying. Leah said, I love going to school. So that is exactly what Leah said. My first part of my direct speech is Leah said. This is the verb. Remember, a verb now is introducing what is about to be said. Leah said. And remember, after the verb, we have to put a comma. Then we will have our open inverted commas. I love going to school. Then my close inverted commas and my full stop. So when Leah says something, I must know in direct speech, I must have my inverted commas. So that is how I am going to punctuate my sentences. Hope you're all still with me, grade 4. So in practice, I'm going to put a few sentences up on the screen now, grade 4s, and I would like you to try to punctuate them on your own. We should do our schoolwork, said Carly. Mikey cried, I didn't break the vase. Shayna asked, where is my bag? What is coronavirus? Asked Miley. And smile, said Piper's mom. I'm going to give you a few seconds, grade 4s, to just write this down and put in the proper punctuation marks for this activity. Okay, so I'm going to get a different color pen now, grade 4, so that we can do this together. Okay. We should do our schoolwork, said Carly. Now, there's a reason why I put a sentence like this in grade 4s is because sometimes the word said or asked isn't in the beginning of our direct speech sentence, okay? It can sometimes be at the end, but the comma still needs to be there. So I already know that after the word or before the word said, I must put a comma, right? And the words that are spoken must always be in inverted commas. So we should do our schoolwork, said Carly. We now is the beginning of what is said, and that has to be in inverted commas. Now, as you can see, grade Pause. My writing of inverted commas is terrible, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop. So we're going to just fill in the inverted commas over here. We should do our schoolwork, said Carly, and close inverted commas. Very good. And our next sentence we're going to do in a different color, okay? Mickey cried, I didn't break the vase. So, Mickey cried. Cried is indicating the beginning of the exact spoken word. So I know my comma must come there. And then I'll have open inverted commas with I didn't break the vase, close inverted commas. Very good, grade 4s. Remember inverted commas and then the full stop after it, okay? So even though I have the full stop in already, I must know that it must come afterwards. So I'm going to take that one out. Alright, so Shayna asked, where is my bag? Okay, so Shayna asked. Asked is indicating that the exact spoken word is about to be said. So I need to put a comma there. Open inverted commas. Where is my bag? Close inverted commas at the end over there. So she's speaking directly, okay? Then, what is coronavirus? Asked Miley. Now, over here, I know that this is what exactly is being said. So I need to have open inverted commas. What is coronavirus? And close inverted commas after my question. But here's something interesting, grade 4s, because I purposefully put this in a capital letter, even though it shouldn't be in a capital letter because it's still part of my sentence. So, asked has to be in a small letter. Asked Miley. Okay. Then, smile, said Piper's mom. Smile is the only part of the sentence that is exactly spoken. So, I know that that must be in my inverted commas. And I'm going to put it in over here. Oops. Again with that terrible, terrible handwriting, grade 4s. And I'm sure you guys are so much better with your handwriting. So, and then my close inverted commas. Right? And don't forget my comma here, because remember, before the word said or after the word said, depending on when the person's speaking, you need to have a comma. Piper's mom. But also there must also be an indication there that not a comma or an inverted comma, no. You have to, so we call this an apostrophe, okay? Right, so remember, the reason I wanted to leave that out and put it in afterwards is because I wanted you to see how when you're punctuating something that you should look to edit the entire sentence and not just focus on exactly what you were asked. So if they say punctuate the sentence for direct speech, yes, you need to put in your inverted commas, etc. But please make sure that the spelling's correct and also that your other punctuation marks are also filled in. So, in the next lesson, we are going to be able to how to identify indirect speech or reported speech. We're going to be converting between direct and indirect speech, which is going to be quite fun, grade 4s. And we're going to do some practice activities with direct and indirect speech. I know this is a topic that is always used in assessments. So we're going to unpack it a bit more in our next lesson. And there is going to be an activity based on this, where you normally find your activities, and there'll be a memo as well. So thank you so much, grade 4s, for having me. I hope you enjoyed this lesson and understood exactly what I taught. Have a wonderful day further. From me, Miss Nicole Frank. Goodbye.